Hello friends, how are you today? Right now we're going to talk about poems where we're going to write a poem using uh, verbs and nouns. Now, if you have not done your work on verbs today, stop the recording, stop the YouTube video, pause Mr. Scott right now because you need to study verbs before we do this because maybe you know what verbs are, but maybe you don't. But I still want you to watch that verbs video before we do this writing today. So you can go ahead and pause this now. Make sure you work on your verb work, okay? And then after you're done, come on back. We welcome you back with open arms. You can come work on this writing assignment. Now, I didn't really prepare for this writing assignment that much, but I want to show you my thought process about how I go through and create a video or a poem about that uses verbs and nouns in it. Now, I'm going to challenge myself to use a verb and a noun on each line of the poem. Now, I'm going to make it a minimum of 4 lines. It can be 6 lines. It could be, I'm running out of fingers here because I'm holding stuff. 8, 8 lines. I can't really do it, right? 8 lines. Or whatever you think, but it should have an even number of lines. So 4, 6, or 8. Okay? So I'm going to just start my poem. And something really helpful that I can do is I know a lot of verbs end in ing. So I can make sure that I have a noun in my sentence, but that I'm ending it with a verb. Okay, so ready? I'm going to title this Nouns and Verbs Poetry, or a poem. I'll say poem. Okay, ready? My bike likes riding my hands like washing. So right now, and I'm just going to go over it real quick, my verb, I'm going to try and keep it the same color as I kept the verb video, is underlined in orange. My noun is going to be underlined in red. So those are my 2 nouns and those are my 2 verbs. You see I have 1 noun and 1 verb per line. So my bike likes riding, my hands like washing. Running around tracks are fun. Laying around in the sun. Okay, and I'll go back and underline these in a moment. Ready? Saturday. Now this is where I'm getting stuck a little bit. I don't know if I like the way I started that. So laying around in the sun. So verb, track. Noun. Laying around in the sun. Okay, ooh. When I'm not playing at the beach. You know what helped me here? I thought about two words that can rhyme, that relate to me. I love going to the beach, and I also love to, what am I doing right now? Teach. When I'm not playing at the beach, I love so much when I teach. And you know what I'm noticing here? I have a verb here and a noun, and I have a verb there is to teach, but I don't have a noun in here. So let me change that, and this is what good writers do. I'm going back and saying I don't have a noun and a verb in each of these sentences. So now I have to go back and come up with a noun that helps fill this sentence out. Writing on boards when I teach. I think that's going to work. Let's go through and double check and make sure that this works properly. Okay, ready? So I'm going to get my red marker for nouns and my orange marker ready for verbs. Okay? Verbs are in orange. Nouns, oops, let me write that thicker so you can see it, are in red. Okay? Running around tracks are fine. Tracks, that's a noun. Running is a verb. Laying around in the sun. Okay, so tracks, like I'm thinking about a track, like you go to run at, like around a school. I have a track on the field next to my house at the elementary school. Sometimes middle schools or high schools have a track you run around, so that's a place, right? So it's a noun. Running is the action of doing it, right? That's a verb. Laying, just laying there, is an action. I know it doesn't seem like it because you're just laying there like this, right? But it's actually an action, all right? And sun is a noun because it is a thing, okay? When I'm not playing at the beach, okay, so playing is a verb, beach is a noun. Writing, okay, that's an action, like I'm moving, right? On boards when I teach. So actually, teach is also an action because it's I'm in the action, I'm doing something, like I'm teaching you. It's an action. So I actually have two verbs in this sentence, which is pretty cool. That worked out. That worked out well. So here's my noun and verbs poem. Ready? I'm going to read it one more time. If you have to pause at any moment while you're doing this, please do. And you can, get some ideas by what I did. So my bike likes riding, my hands like washing, running around tracks are fun, laying around in the sun, when I'm not playing at the beach, writing on boards when I teach. So you see I rhymed riding and washing because ing. It's going to rhyme well at the end of a sentence. Fun and sun, beach and teach. You do not have to rhyme. You do not have to rhyme in this poem. I wanted to get us some practice learning about nouns and verbs, and I want to make sure that we have a noun and a verb on each line. And you'd be surprised, many sentences you already write are going to have nouns and verbs in them. Many of them will. Like this last one, I really had to think about it. I said, ooh, I don't have a noun in there. I don't have a noun. Okay, but I went ahead and reworked my sentence, and I'm glad I ran into an issue because I wanted to show you it's okay. Like I'm a teacher and I even had to go back and rework a sentence, right? I should be able to write this stuff, like a good poem, like meeting the requirements of a noun and a verb on each line without thinking too much about it. No, that's incorrect. I have to think, even though I'm a teacher, I have to think about it too. I have to make sure that I'm getting that noun and the verb. And I have to ask, is that a noun? Is that a verb? A noun is a person, a place, or a thing, right? A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So, person. Is this a person? Is it a place? Or is it a thing? And then with verbs, I just have to say one simple thing. Is this an action word? Is it an action word? Okay. Action word. Is it something that people can physically do? Like Mr. Scott's throwing some punches because he's getting some exercise. Mr. Scott's throwing his hands up in the air, right? Throwing. My hands, they're physical things, they're nouns, right? Mr. Scott is taking his glasses on and off. Taking, okay, that is a action, right? So some stuff to think about. This could be a lot of fun. Do you know I came up with this idea and within 20 seconds of coming up with this idea of writing an action, a noun and a verb poem. I hit the record button on this thing and I started recording it and I'm having fun and I went with it, and I hope you're having as much fun as I am with this as well too. And it could be challenging for you, but remember, be the best version of you. And being the best version of you means that sometimes you're going to challenge yourself. And when you challenge yourself, you're going to do things you didn't know you can do. So even if this seems hard, give it a try. Okay, if six lines seems like a lot, then do 4. Okay, and give it a shot. I know you can do it. I believe in you. If you have any questions or anything like that, just please let me know. I'll help you out. Have a great time writing a nouns and verbs poem. Have fun.